Philosophy is a discipline known for its deep, thought-provoking ideas that challenge our understanding of the world, existence, and reality. Throughout history, philosophers have presented theories and concepts that can be both bewildering and awe-inspiring. These ideas often question what we know and invite us to think in new and unconventional ways. Here are 10 bizarre and thought-provoking ideas in philosophy that have continued to spark debate and contemplation. 1. The simulation hypothesis. One of the most mind-bending ideas in contemporary philosophy is the simulation hypothesis, proposed by philosopher Nick Bostrom. According to this theory, it is possible that our entire reality is a computer simulation created by an advanced civilization. Essentially, everything we experience could be a sophisticated virtual world, and we may be living in a simulated reality without even realizing it. This theory raises profound questions about the nature of existence, consciousness, and free will. 2. The Ship of Theseus paradox. The Ship of Theseus is a classic thought experiment that raises questions about identity and change. The paradox asks, if a ship's parts are gradually replaced, piece by piece, until none of the original parts remain, is it still the same ship? And, if those replaced parts are reassembled into a new ship, which one is the real Ship of Theseus? This paradox explores the relationship between identity and persistence over time, challenging how we understand objects and their continuity. 3. The Trolley Problem. The trolley problem is a moral thought experiment that explores ethical decision-making. Imagine a trolley is headed toward 5 people tied to a track, and you have the option to pull a lever, diverting the trolley to another track where only one person is tied. Do you pull the lever and sacrifice one life to save 5? This dilemma forces us to confront the utilitarian principle, maximizing overall good, versus deontological ethics, the morality of the action itself, posing difficult questions about ethics, responsibility, and sacrifice. 4. Solipsism, the idea that only your mind exists. Solipsism is the philosophical idea that only one's own mind is sure to exist. According to this view, we cannot be certain of the existence of anything outside our own consciousness. Everything we perceive, including other people and objects, could simply be creations of our mind. This idea challenges our fundamental assumptions about reality and the external world, suggesting that we may be living in a subjective bubble where only our own mind is real. 5. Eternal return, the idea of infinite repetition. The concept of eternal return, associated with philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, posits that the universe and all events within it are eternally recurring in a cyclical manner. According to this idea, every moment, every action, and every experience repeats itself infinitely throughout time. If this is true, how should we live our lives? Nietzsche's interpretation encourages us to live as though we would willingly embrace the repetition of our actions for eternity, leading to reflections on meaning, purpose, and the choices we make. 6. The problem of other minds. The problem of other minds addresses the difficulty of knowing whether other people have consciousness and experiences similar to our own. While we can infer that other people think and feel because of their behavior and communication, we can never truly access their minds directly. This philosophical puzzle challenges the way we relate to others and calls into question the very nature of empathy, communication, and understanding. 7. The Ship of Theseus paradox. The Ship of Theseus is a classic thought experiment that raises questions about identity and change. The paradox asks, if a ship's parts are gradually replaced, piece by piece, until none of the original parts remain, is it still the same ship? And, if those replaced parts are reassembled into a new ship, which one is the real Ship of Theseus? This paradox explores the relationship between identity and persistence over time, challenging how we understand objects and their continuity. 8. The brain in a vat. The brain in a vat is a thought experiment used to illustrate the concept of skepticism. It suggests that, just as a brain can be kept alive in a vat of nutrients and connected to a computer simulating experiences, there is no way to prove that our sensory experiences are not part of a similar simulation. This scenario challenges our trust in sensory perception and asks whether we can truly know anything about the outside world beyond our own minds. 9. The paradox of the liar. The liar paradox is a self-referential puzzle that arises when someone says, "I am lying." If the statement is true, then the speaker is lying, which would make the statement false. But if the statement is false, then the speaker is telling the truth, which creates a paradox. This contradiction raises questions about truth, language, and logic, and has led to significant discussions in philosophy, especially in the realm of self-reference and meaning. 10. The problem of personal identity. Who are we, really? The The problem of personal identity asks what it is that makes someone the same person over time. Are we the same person we were 10 years ago? Philosophers have explored this question from various angles, including the persistence of memories, physical continuity, and psychological continuity. Some argue that personal identity is based on the continuity of consciousness, while others believe it's tied to our physical bodies. The nature of the self remains one of the most puzzling and fundamental questions in philosophy. Philosophy is a field that constantly pushes the boundaries of human thought, and these bizarre and thought-provoking ideas challenge how we perceive the world and ourselves. Whether questioning the nature of reality, exploring moral dilemmas, or reflecting on the complexities of personal identity, these concepts invite us to think deeply about existence and the mysteries of the human mind. While some of these ideas may never be fully resolved, they continue to inspire exploration, debate, and reflection in philosophical inquiry.